While working at the soda fountain, as I alluded to earlier, my boss, he was really focused on making money, which, as I mentioned, is not bad per se. It's just how he went about doing it. Well, it turned out that some of the money went missing from the cash register. So what he did was he took some of our tip money to offset the missing money. Oh, wow. Now this was a kind of fellow who, well, he was very sort of passive aggressive. Did I just say very sort of? I did just say very sort of. He was very sort of passive aggressive. And what he would do was he would put signs everywhere. Have you ever met someone like that who doesn't want to address an issue, so they put signs up? For example, let's say a door is not quite sitting well on its hinges, and whenever it swings closed, it doesn't close all the way. Instead of a shift change and him standing up and saying, "Hey everybody, we're letting in a lot of cold air, could you please make sure you close this door when you leave the building?" No. There'd be a little sign on the door by the end of the day that says, "Close the door," with like 4 exclamation marks. Oh, wow. But the thing is that sign remained there forever. It's just this little handwritten, dinky, very non-professional looking sign. I was like, wow. So there were these signs everywhere, which may seem like a good idea, but it's not. It looks extremely tacky. Just address the problem. Don't write signs. Okay, I digress. What he did was he wrote a sign that said, "Money is missing from the till. I am taking some tips to offset this." One important lesson that I learned from this was when you are on the clock, when you're working for an employer, the employer can really have you do any kind of job that he so chooses, as long as it's legal, of course. But the employee should not really, grumble and be like, "Oh, come on," and whine about it, over dramatize it, to reference one of my pet peeves, as mentioned earlier. And they should just do the job. However, there is one thing that you should never, ever do to an employee, and that is touch their salary. Even whether it's their tips or their hourly salary, you do not touch it. That strikes a chord that just angers any employee. Do whatever you'd like, but don't touch their tips. And he touched our tips. Not just once or twice, but a good 3 times. Until I got so mad. And I thought to myself, should I approach him? I probably should. But he's a very emotional sort of fellow. No, I don't think I will. I think I will do the mature thing and write my own sign. No, Beau, you wouldn't do that. Oh, did I? Oh, it was not a sign per se, but a letter. A full essay with very big words used. I had so much fun with the thesaurus. And I got this letter, and I drafted it to my supervisor and several supervisors, and also some other employees. And I was like, "Look, am I off base here?" And they're like, "No, we were thinking the same thing. This is very eloquently written." And when you're experiencing conflict with someone, you always try to figure out what you want or what the other person wants, so that you can actually work towards a goal. That may seem like a no-duh thing, but you won't believe how many people argue and have conflicts over things, and they don't even really know what they want out of it. So I focused on what I wanted, and that was stop taking our tip money. You know, here's an alternative. Put up a security camera. I know this might cost a little something, but trying to help him get to the root of the problem. And I put this all into this letter. And now you may be wondering, well, if he's such an emotional, dramatic sort of fellow, when approached, how did he deal with this? The milkshake hit the ceiling, which is a true situation. We mixed up milkshakes in these little old-fashioned mixers where you'd sort of get the tin and you'd put it up and it would sort of hook on the bottom. But if you didn't hook it well enough, the tin would slip off and slam and hit the countertop. And when it hits the countertop, the whole thing just explodes straight up into your eyes and mouth, and then you have to make a new milkshake. But the milkshake quite literally hits the ceiling. It strikes the ceiling. Yes, I am using the word literally correctly. So that's not just a weird turn of phrase. The milkshake hit the ceiling when he saw this letter. But what I so wisely did was I did not sign it. No! Oh boy, I'm telling you all sorts of secrets here. Well, I signed the edge, and then my supervisors also signed around the edge, and everybody else signed around the edges. All the employees, no one actually signed at the very bottom. No one took credit for it. So what he did was he copied this letter off, he posted it everywhere so that everybody could see it, which is so embarrassing because I actually gave him the letter privately, like in his box. I didn't want to make a big stink out of things, all right? Like, give him the benefit of the doubt, grace. But no, when the milkshake hit the ceiling, which is great, by the way, I love that metaphor, he got so mad and was like, who did this? Who did this? I want to know who this is. He thought it was my supervisor, so to speak. Her name was Rhonda, and I just felt so bad for her because she was much older than us. And so he thought, well, she must be pretty intelligent, more intelligent than the others, because there are such big words in this grievance letter of grievance. And no, it was me the whole time. And she was really cool. She never actually mentioned that it was me, even though she was threatened like this close within the life of her job. You're gonna get fired. She was really cool. So you may be wondering what happened to the till money. Oh, this is where it gets good. My boss, he found the till money. No one took it. No one stole it. You know those little blue bank bags that you put cash in, like after the shift or something like that? All of it was in that little blue bag, and it was stuffed between the seats of his car. He had lost the money himself and found it again, but he thought that we took it. Yes, in case you're wondering, we did get all of our tips back, and he never touched our tips again.